People of the internet, it appears that Two Bears, One Cave has been saved from the depths of hell that Tom and Bert put it in. And today we're going to find out exactly how and why it's been saved in the video Two Bears, One Cave is thriving without Tom and Bert. Here we go.
Hysterical. I mean, let's just play the clip. Here we go.
I look hot as...
Stop that right now.
No. I mean,
that's
smashable.
That's insane
No.
that he's saying that. This is a Rorschach test for being a narcissist.
Right.
Because Bert looking at that picture and being like, ooh, baby, that's a hot woman.
Yeah.
Man has never wanted to himself more. That is just clearly Bert loves himself so much that applying, this is maybe the worst woman filter I've ever seen in my life.
Chris,
I think we should take a moment here and just give a round of applause to Tom and Bert because they have done something right finally by removing themselves from their own show and just making it funny and not about being complaining about the pores or how rich they are or what jacket they bought, or how people hate on them. I have to say, this is probably the best thing that Tom and Bert have ever done in their entire career. So we got to give a round of applause to them for that. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Who would have thought you guys leaving your own show would be so incredible for the success of the show again? Man, it's a beauty.
Distefano and Stavros are continuing their streak of absolutely tearing up YMH Studios. If you haven't heard, they're filling in for Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer for 6 weeks while they're off trying to buy their way into Hollywood. And it's turning out to be one of the most confusing plot twists in the comedy podcasting world. Tom and Bert's laziness and complete disregard for their fans has turned into one of the biggest W's of their careers. Who knew that simply disappearing for a few shows would be the very thing their fan base actually needed to fall in love with their podcast again? I don't think I've clicked on 2 consecutive Two Bears, One Cave episodes in years. I love how much Stav and Chris are shitting on the show while also making it twice as good at the same time. Last 2 episodes have been the best in years for some reason, not sure why. Man, this podcast has been really great lately. Gonna be hilarious to see the numbers rise with these two, then to drop when Tim and Brent return. These are the first 2 episodes I've watched instead of just waiting for podcast cringe. Wait, what?
Oh, wow, there's a whole...
Okay, guys, you know what? I'm really feeling this moment right now. I'm really feeling this moment. I'm feeling like there's been a victory, just a great moral and just victory in the podcast world. So if you're sitting at home or you're sitting on your phone and you're watching along with me right now, I believe this moment requires special action. So break out your joint. Have a little smoke with me. And just joy. You don't get many beautiful moments in life, but this might be one of them. I have to say, this is probably the best thing that's happened to me all week. Besides getting rid of that website client that was total control freak and just... Anyways, we're not going to go there.
whole site called Podcast Cringe?
Yeah, I subscribe to them.
Yeah, no, this guy rules.
This is like when a girl says to you, if you really love me, you'll let me be with the other guy. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Why would I want you to be with Greg? And how could you pull that after we had the most incredible summer together? You and Greg look like siblings. He shaves his legs and rides an e-bike. Anyway, sorry, I don't know where that came from. My point was, we're the girl telling Tom and Bert we want Chrissy and Greg. Chrissy and Stubby, fuck. But it's safe to say they understood the assignment. In their first episode as guest hosts from last week, they asked us what we wanted to see more of in these episodes. And if you recall, I said we wanted to see more of Chrissy and Stubby reacting to clips of Tom and Bert going full cringe. And even if these episodes of Two Bears, One Cave are banked, and they're probably all recorded and stored in the YMH Studios vault, right next to all the evidence that Tom Segura's actually a serial killer, at least the podcast gods were listening, because these guys did not disappoint.
They were being genuine.
I know, this is f***ing crazy. This is insane.
I look hot as...
Stop that right now.
No.
I mean, that's
smashable.
That's insane that he's saying that.
I'm hotter than Leanne.
He's hotter than
you
he
look
thinks
like
he's hotter than his
someone
wife.
that's been through some. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
my chick is like wholesome. Yeah, I look like such a nice girl.
Dude, okay.
I want you to come in me.
I mean,
you
this
let people.
is disgusting.
Right.
This is
You do it
gross
because
that
you're
they're
needy
doing
and
this.
you're like, I want them to like me. I just go, I want to be abused.
Bert has never
Yeah,
been projected more in his
definitely.
life,
You
by
asked
the
to
way.
get like choked out and spit on, slapped.
Oh,
and
yeah.
shit.
Okay, as weird and fucked up as that may have come across to you, that is easily one of the most Bert Crusher things I've ever seen. Bert having his producers generate an AI female version of himself and then proceeding to break down her sexual proclivities in detail while...
Hey, I just want to say, I know a lot of y'all are sitting there making fun of it with Stavros. But let's be honest here. Hold on, let's be honest. Let me just move it for a sec. Let's be honest. A lot of y'all would smash that. I'm just saying. I'm saying. A lot of y'all would. Y'all be hating in the comments. But some of y'all, when it gets past 11 and you tuck your little bodies under your bed sheets and you pull up a phone to just, do some last checks before you go to sleep, and you're scrolling social media and Bert posts this photo and you see it and you're like, who's this? You see the comments, but you can't forget how she just stares right into your soul. So you hold down on the image and you download it. And you peek up from your covers, making sure nobody can see you. And then you know what you do. I don't have to explain that part. But a lot of y'all hating. But I know you'd smash. I know you would. Just saying.
Comparing her to Tom's version is so on brand for a guy like him, and you could tell that both him and Tom were bricking up. This is like a narcissist's wet dream. Bert's the kind of guy to tell people that AI is the future and whoever hasn't gotten on board yet is going to be left behind, but then when someone asks him what he uses it for, he pulls out that image of him as a woman. Bert no longer has to Google images of himself. Now he can create them himself using ChatGPT. By the way, I kind of got curious about what my AI female version would look like, so if you stick around to the end, maybe I'll share it with you guys. I don't know, maybe not, we'll see. She's kind of nuts. But I love how Stavy didn't hesitate in the slightest and came straight out with, Bert has never been projecting more in his life. That is the correct answer to the question no one asked. And you could tell that Stavy's been sitting on this one for a while. He knows he's never going to get this opportunity ever again, so he clearly wanted to make the most of it.
I mean, I will say, actually, on second look, obviously they're atrocious and they look disgusting. But Tom could maybe, if she worked on herself.
Yeah.
There is a light in her eyes that I'm like, you know what? On second thought, I think I'd get head from Tom.
Yeah.
It looks like Bert too much.
Too much,
Like,
yeah.
it just looks like
Too
Bert
much.
with mascara on.
And with the face, it looks.
It looks like a woman you would see in Dallas, like on church on Sunday, and she's got that dress that goes just above her knees with that like suit jacket on that's all like bedazzled and shit. And she's all, "Hi, honey. How was your week? Praise the Lord." You know? That's what it looks like. Or like just like a Midwest mom who's just really unhappy. Oh man, the Midwest. Oof. The Midwest, right? Just a little torment. I like the kindness and stuff, but the Midwest, man, when you grow up, I guess it's I don't know. The Midwest is just so weird, and the expectations. I think the thing that kills me about the Midwest is there's so much expectations because of like politeness and maintaining your image that they really just care too much. And yeah, man, the Midwest is a strange place. But I do happen, my favorite emo is Midwest emo. Because I remember I was in high school when that shit came out originally. And that was how emo started, actually, if we want to talk about how emo started. It started with like emotional rock, more like Midwest emo, and then transformed into like heavier alternative sites, and then black hair and you're cutting yourself. It just went weird. It was cooler. Anyways, Midwest emo, super cool.
Looks like he almost like had to get like skin reconstruction after a fire, right? He looks like a burn victim.
Yeah.
Tom, if we go back to Tom a little bit,
Yeah.
Tom is definitely a woman who, because Bert, I'm like, also too, I'm not into like really brunettes like that,
Sure.
even though my wife
That's
is Puerto
the
Rican
issue.
and brunette.
Let me stop you right there. You can't, hair color is not even top 40 problems with this picture right now. You know, I started this thinking I would, trash both of them. I'm getting. If Tom was the one who gave me a happy ending, that wouldn't be so bad.
See, I think this matches Tom pretty accurately, because we all have this joke that allegedly Tom Segura is a serial killer, right? And the female version of Tom right here looks like the quiet girl that reads a lot of books. But then, like, somehow y'all end up liking each other, and this girl can swallow your whole dick. And you're just like, what? Girl, and she's a freak, and then she's got, like, ropes and all kinds of things, and she wants you to fuck her in public and take all this risks, you know? The quiet girl, that's a freak. That's what Tom, and Tom's like a quiet, closeted serial killer, allegedly, so I think this is accurate for Tom.
And I
Right.
think, now I'm not taking these women out. This is a Rorschach test for being a narcissist.
Right.
Because Bert looking at that picture and being like, ooh,
Yeah.
baby, that's a hot woman.
Yeah.
Man has never wanted to himself more. That is just clearly Bert loves himself so much that applying, this is maybe the worst woman filter I've ever seen in my life. For example, if I was and I went and got facial feminization surgery and I ended up looking like that, I would sue my doctor for malpractice.
You'd be
know what
really
I mean?
upset.
I would want a refund on the estrogen. I would sue my doctor for malpractice.
Okay, is it just me, or is Tom's version some of the scariest shit you've ever seen? She looks like a character out of Bad Thoughts Season 2, The Nightmare. But Stavi's assessment and diagnosis of Bert's narcissism is absolutely spot on. The bit he left out was that you could apply the Rorschach test to pretty much any episode of Two Bears, One Cave, and the results would be the same. This is just the latest manifestation of Bert's chronic narcissism. And Bert's kicking his feet up in the air and giggling at that whole segment just because they were playing a video of him and talking about him. That's Bert's number one goal in life, even if he has to pay his buddies to do it.
The fact that Bert went into how they're getting nutted inside, it is beautiful how much he loves his family. Like, he'll literally cry.
Yeah.
He'll take pictures of himself crying about how much he
I've
loves his
cried
family.
with
Okay. I just thought about this as Stavi said this, right? This is another confirmation. But what is it with the Rogan sphere and talking about being females and getting nutted inside or wanting, Joe Rogan famously has talked about multiple ways he would like guys to nut in him. And now we have a similar thing. Is everyone in the Rogan sphere gay? Is this what it is? Is everyone are they? I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know why you wouldn't just come out and enjoy your life. I never understood it. Who cares? Who cares who you like? I'm not sitting there in bed with you, in a relationship with you. That's how I feel about it. Who cares? And so I don't know why, okay, let me just end that right there. Another train of thought. Joe Rogan always says, don't read the comments. It doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. He's bigger than that. But why is he so afraid of being himself? right? I thought, you know, you don't have to think about what people think about you, and you shouldn't. Anyways, I'm getting all conspiracy theory shit on you guys.
Him on a podcast, Bert and I, about our families.
You guys are so f***ing gay. It's
I know.
crazy.
I know.
That's so
I love how episode 1 I said I wasn't gay, and then I said I sit around crying with men on camera.
because you thought it would make good content. That's the gayest part of it all.
Yeah.
You know, you have a tear stick. You're like, this is going to go viral. This is going to sell some tickets.
Hey, Stavy, do you want a job, dude? I'm seriously snowed under with all these videos. I could totally use the help. Hit me up if you're keen, but you'll probably get banned from the mothership though, so I can understand if you can't. But while Chrissy and Stavy were roasting Tom and Bert's female alter egos, the Two Bears producers were cooking up something else.
I just wanted to f***ing weigh in there because I saw the clip of them saying they're hot and it infuriated me.
Right.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
First of all, I just look Filipino. That doesn't even look like a woman. That looks like Spider-Man's sidekick from the new movies. No, you know what? I like this girl. I would be friends with that. First of all, this girl's.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny how Bert's and Tom's, they both acted the way he said was making fun of him, and now he's acting. Oh yeah, that looks good. You know. Oh yeah, that looks good. I'd fuck her. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. In that Hawaiian shirt. Come on now. See, people do that. I think it's maybe it's like a defense mechanism that you don't want to admit the girl version of you isn't very great. But you have to, but I don't think you look at it objectively either, right? Because when you're looking at it, like when I look at the Tom one, you see Tom, it's in the eyes, right? If most people don't notice, a lot of people, you can recognize a lot of people by just seeing their eyes, right? So you see Tom and that girl, but if you didn't know who Tom was, y'all would smash. Don't lie. You probably still smash, because I know some of you nasty motherfuckers out there that just about toss anything under their butthole ride. You know what I mean?
This is the kind of girl I'm competing with bisexual women for, by the way.
Yes.
Like, that's the thing. That's why a lot of my exes and, like, girls I've dated are bi, because I feel like they're just into this type of butch body type.
Yeah, for like that woman who's like into fat guys and like wanted you for that, she also wants to go on a date with her.
100%.
That's interesting.
100%. And I like her. I would be friends with her. And this shows you how bad society is, how much better my life is than this theoretical woman. Yeah. You can't be that. Like, people treat, people treat a fat man with respect, and they treat fat women with scorn. And we're against that here on Two Bears.
100%.
We love the plus size gals, and we hope this lady gets some.
Yeah.
She gets some just by being a good hang, taking down enough Irish car bombs. I'm sure I think you could be convinced to this woman.
I was going to say, I've had sex with a woman who looks like this in the back of O'Neill's in Maspeth, Queens. Are you kidding me? When I'm 22 years old, I've done a job from a woman that looks like this on Grand Avenue in the bowels of Queens.
I have to say something, about Chris Distefano. I made a video on him, and when he was on that Joe Rogan episode, and he talked about having to move his wife out of his house because he had, all these anxieties, it just really, really rubbed me wrong. Hold on. That C4 is hitting, dog. And the reason it rubbed me wrong is because if you've ever experienced somebody that is just kind of neurotic, especially in your family, and they do things that just like rip you out of your life, your normalcy, you lose friends. If you've got to especially if you've got to move places because of their neurotic behaviors, it just really, I thought, man, that is just so fucked up to do to your family, and it's going to mess up your kids. It's going to make your wife upset, and it's not my place. It's his choice, right? But just him, he just seemed like such a mental case, and it just rubbed me so wrong. Like, I have some mental case friends, and I mean, many of you make the same thing about me, so it's all taste, right? But just just like if you've ever experienced something like that and just how harmful it is to your life, especially when you have no control, if it's like a parent or something, I just couldn't get over that feeling. And it just made me look like Chris, like he was just an absolute fucking lunatic. Like I probably even said that in the video. But I have to say, I've seen some things from him now, and whatever he was going through there, it seems a lot better, or like maybe he's overcome it. And like he's actually, to me, from that place there, he's becoming a more likable guy. So obviously, you know, he did something, you know, to get over that stuff and those fears, and to like, you also have to repair that shit with your family. You know, sometimes family won't say anything, but they're secretly pissed off at you, but they don't say anything because you're family. So you had to repair that. And it seems like he's turned out to be a cool podcast host, a good dude. And so like, I just have to say that because life is hard. We make fun of whoever we make fun of because that's who we make fun of. But I always believe that you should give people their due, no matter how you feel about them. And especially if they do the work to make these changes and come out the better side for them, right? I mean, you gotta like that. You can't hate on that. You can't hate on someone's come up. You gotta give them credit for it, right? I mean, we do hate on the come up here. Well, they're up already, so technicality, okay? We make fun of the Rogan sphere, but they ain't coming up. Everybody loves the come up. It's when they get up. Do you want to pull them down? Anyways, props to Chris. I think it's a admirable and noble thing to do, to fight your way through your battles and come out stronger. So I just want to take a moment to recognize him.
I'd love a zoom out because she could have incredibly fat tits.
Oh,
she could have maybe triple J's.
Oh, love it.
And now we're talking. Oh no.
Oh man.
Okay. You know what? Still a great gal. Like I
100%.
said, I would dress her a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know why they had to give her a moo-moo.
Well, they gave
know
her
what
your
I mean?
shirt.
Yeah, they gave her my shirt as a whole dress.
Yeah.
But, you know, we could maybe work with a nice chunky belt
Yeah.
to give her a bit of a waistline,
Yeah,
you know?
do something nice for her.
Oh, man.
God. Oh, wow. Dude, I look like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I know. You look like the fucking, the non-binary character in the Sex and the City reboot. You look like fucking Che Diaz. You look like you're eating Miranda's pussy right now.
You know what I kind of like, too? Even though, like,
honestly, I'm into this.
yeah, like a little.
No. That, my friends, is the worst one. That one is the worst one. That looks like a woman that's angry. Like, she's been through a divorce. She has kids. And she doesn't even know why all that happened, because the whole time she's been a lesbian. And now she's found her true self. She's being who she is. And she's like taking no more fucking kicking ass and taking no names, right? Just like, don't cross her. Yeah, and plus the face is like, oof, for me. But she seems a little too intense, like scary intense.
Thicker, maybe.
I guess what it comes down to is I think I would just pretty much every woman.
Anything.
And so when you see, I mean, never mind.
Did you ask to give me lunch lady lips?
I mean, literally, those are just your hips, by the
Yeah.
way. I literally had a lesbian manager at Sherwin-Williams that looked exactly like this. Shout out to my girl, Jess.
I am 100% with Stovey. Out of all of them, his version is definitely the best one. I mean, come on, look at that face. There's a purity in there that you cannot deny. Chrissy's
It just looks like a character out of Stranger Things, you know.
on the other hand, looks like a professional protest organizer who hates her rich parents but still uses their holiday home in the Hamptons 3 months a year to recharge her batteries. Starvy's version looks more trustworthy. Someone you could settle down.
Or like, for those of you that grew up in the 90s, it looks like like somebody that would be on a Nickelodeon, like the show All That, you know? It just looks like a person that would be on like a 90s kids / teeny bopper show from Nickelodeon. or that pattern. All right, I'll be honest. I just kept thinking Rocco's Modern Life. That pattern, just like, I think it's the purple. Have you seen that show? I just kept thinking Rocco's Modern Life. Do you guys remember that? Rocco's Modern. Okay.
Down with and start a family. Maybe. But I told you guys I got curious and did my own version, and here she is. I don't know about you, but this chick looks like she's real high maintenance. Like she took 2 hours to get ready to go out for a jog just so she could take a selfie and pretend that's just how she looks after she wakes up. Hashtag natural beauty. And you could tell just from her smile that she's nasty as fuck. She's the kind of girl who would love bomb you for a whole summer and then tell you she's got a fiance called Greg back home who she plans to marry in a few months so you can't call her anymore. Like as if you just meant to forget about all the things she said to you on those starry nights at the beach and pretend like she never happened. Damn, that's rough. But like,
if that is really podcast cringe, he just gave away that he's really short and weighs like 110 pounds and rail skinny. If that is podcast cringe, because it's a reflection of you, because if I was made a girl, I'd be made like a tall, Norwegian girl, big and probably hideous. But it would be tall, right? It mimics their height and their body shape. So if it's true, podcast cringe is a tiny guy that weighs about 120 pounds and really skinny. Probably the same height as Joe Rogan from the looks of that picture. That was a short girl. Just saying.
Like I said, these guys didn't hold back. This is one of the only times where I actually believe comedians saying that they might be cancelled.
Listen, this is our second episode. We'll see if they give us a third. I mean, they might be pulling the plug on the entire... YMH might be fully out of business after this.
Yeah, we try and open the door as Sam Morril and Tim Dillon are sitting in here.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Next
We've gone a different direction.
Yeah, they just brought in bad friends. They're like, just bring them in, please. We think we'll be here next week for you. That's what we've been told right now, but we do have Tom Segura himself is waiting in the wing.
He's going to take a break from filming season 2 of Bad Thoughts to come in here and fire us personally.
Yes.
Which, by the way, what do you think I was thinking of how funny it would be if Bad Thoughts season 2 was just Tom in just a nice gay relationship.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's his bad thought, is just being married to a man and being in love.
Yeah.
Like, he's fat again. He's like, what if I could actually live the way I wanted?
Yeah, yeah.
Fat and gay.
Yeah.
I could stop all this exercise.
The coming inside of my theory, it looks like I'm not the only one thanking it. It looks like it. It seems to be, at this moment, partially credible. I mean, Stavi's basically saying my interpretation of why they all say, come inside me. Wouldn't it be crazy if the Rogan sphere is just a big gay comedians club full of bad comics? They're all secretly, you imagine, which ones do you think would hook up? I mean, that's rough.
Exercise bullshit.
Yeah.
I could stop working so much.
I could just be Bert.
Yeah. All right. So, look for us there. Chris will be playing his husband in Bad Thoughts Season 2.
That's it.
The accuracy from these two is insane. These are the real comedy assassins. Fuck Elon Musk and Joe Rogan. Chrissy and Stavi just made comedy legal again, and we're all here for it. This 6 weeks of Two Bears, One Cave is going to be like a short course on comedy podcasting. Tom and Bert are going to have to either hand over the reins when they get back, or give them their own show on the YMH network, just to make up for all the dog shit Tom's been ramming down our throats for the past few years. Their return is going to be one of the biggest anti-climaxes in entertainment history, and that's including Bad Thoughts and the Machine movie. Anyway, don't forget to check out...
I have to say, watching them just have fun making fun of people, which I'm a big proponent of making fun of people, of just having fun, right? I wish more people would do that and not take things so seriously about themselves. And just seeing that, because I was feeling just like, God, comedy is just so unfunny. I've just been feeling that a lot lately. Comedy is so unfunny. It's always wrapped up in some politics or some fucking cultural values, and it's not making fun of it. It's like a weapon to try and put down one side and convince you of their side. And it just feels like all comedy's like that. And all comedians are just going for the lowest hanging fruit and not really giving much thought to what they put out there. And then to just see two guys just talk and make it about the funny and make it about just being funny. I tell you, it's refreshing. I got to give him props. I wasn't the biggest Stavy fan, and I was not much of a Distefano fan. But I might have to check it out, just people having a good time, not worrying, not having to convince you of who to vote for. It's a breath of fresh air. At least that's my thoughts. And if you want to share your thoughts, please share them respectfully and relating. This is the big one. Relating to the video. And see what other people think. I think we should talk about things more than just attacking people that don't agree with us. Yeah, but make fun of them. Let me know. Peace.